Today's episode is all about this legend, David Okoro. You've probably gathered from the video title, to be honest. But yeah, he really deserves this episode to be about him. It's going to be his testimonial. We're going to be taking on Swindon Town, which you might think is a bit strange, but it's because it's the club that he actually started his career at. He never played for them, but it makes sense. Go back to his roots. We're going to be taking on Swindon in this pre-season David Okoro testimonial. Oh, it's special. As you can see, we've had a really good pre-season so far. There's still a couple more matches to play after this. But I just thought I'd throw in an extra bonus episode today, basically, before the start of our 15th season, which is a tough old start. Arsenal, Man United and Spurs, 2 of those games were away, and we were terrible away from home last year. We didn't win a single away game in the Premier League. Still looking for our first win. Hopefully, we can improve away from home though. But as you can see, pre-season 6-0, 6-0, 3-0, 6-2, 6-0. 3 6-0s in there. 4 times we scored 6 goals. I mean, it's against weaker teams. We did go over to America for a little bit of a tour as well, which was nice. And we took on San Jose. Tisakovic and Luna, of course, play for that club. One of them doesn't anymore, though. I'll show you in a second. And also, we beat Celtic. I wanted to play a relatively strong team away from home, just to test the away tactic. And we won. We weren't great, but we did beat Celtic. So that's encouraging. So, before we get on with this Okoro testimonial, I thought I'd show you the transfers so far. We haven't spent a huge amount of money, to be honest, but we have broken our transfer record. I might as well show you straight away because you'll have noticed it already. Veteran Tisakovic is back at Regen Rovers. Of course, we had him on loan for 2 seasons from Watford, but unfortunately, he agreed to move to the MLS. He's played 2 seasons over there. Done okay, nothing amazing, but I just love this guy. I really liked him when he played for us in the Championship, and I want to give him a go in the Premier League. £4.6 million is our record fee, but it's not a huge amount of money for the Premier League, of course, these days. And he looks decent. He's actually our best left winger. Apparently he is better than Nunez, so he probably will be first choice. But we have so much money to spend at the moment. We've still got £41.6 million to spend. And the wage budget currently £543,000 a week spent on wages. 915 grand a week is the wage budget now. It's just the finances have gone bananas. It's brilliant, but it is ridiculous because 2 seasons ago we were spending under £100,000 a week on wages. The lowest budget in the Championship, promoted to the Premier League. Suddenly, all this money. It is lovely. It really is lovely. So other players coming into the team then. On my first signing of the summer was Luke Clark. I will go through these players quickly in the next episode as well for people that don't want to watch this testimonial video. But yeah, £1.8 million. Quite like the look of him. Did okay in the Championship. Decent average rating last year. In fact, he's always got a decent average rating in the last 4 seasons. He's very experienced. He's 28 years old. But he is better than Cochrane and also better than Boyd, who we signed last year. So I think he will be first choice right winger this season. Next up, I'm really excited about this guy. Dave Barnes on loan from Arsenal. 33 caps for the England under-21 team. Hasn't broken into the full England team, but that's probably because he's not really a main starter for Arsenal. He did play quite a few games in the Premier League though. So they just want to get him, I think, into a first choice 11 and see how it goes from there. And he wants to try and break into the England team. So hopefully he's going to just be brilliant for us in that central midfield. I wanted to improve our central midfield and I've done that. We've got Dave Barnes, who hopefully will be really good. Unfortunately, Vitor isn't at the club anymore. Of course, we had him on loan, if I can find him. We had him on loan for 3 seasons from Leeds, but they've just been promoted back to the Premier League and I think they want to start him or play him at the very least. They didn't want to loan him out again. And then they wanted £41 million for him. And he's not worth £41 million. When I mentioned it in the last episode during the YouTube premiere, people were in the comments in the chat saying, yeah, you could get him in, but you can probably find a better player. I don't think I have found a better player, but no one was really like, yes, you have to go for Vitor. He is amazing. So it wasn't. I can't spend 41. I can't spend the entire budget on one central defender. So I've decided to go for a free option in my classic way, in the classic Regen Rovers way. Get someone in for free. Try and find a bit of a bargain. Mark Gale, who's coming on a free from Spurs. He's been out on loan in the Championship the last 4 seasons. Last year, not a good average rating. really not good. But the two prior to that, especially this one at Bolton, he was good. So I'm hoping he can do something for us. He's a left-footed central defender, which is useful. He'll probably play on the left and Matteo on the right. Now, Bayliss has left. Clint Bayliss has left the club, and we've brought in a new backup goalkeeper. Macaulay Simpson has come in on a free from Brighton. He left the club, and we've managed to... He's basically a backup. I don't want someone that is as good as Adrian Smith and then that upsets them because they both want to be first choice. If I bring in a backup goalkeeper, then he expects to be backup, and hopefully he'll be good enough to do a job, because he's not bad and he's actually better than Bayliss, I think. So he's a decent second option if need be. And of course Časakovic as well. A few players have left the club. This is the current squad. They've got the under 23 players in here as well, so it looks huge. Also, we've also got some of the players that are going to feature in the David Okoro testimonial. So I'll just run you through the team. It looks awful, this red stuff. It's because the players don't play for us anymore. So Keneal Passmore's back. He plays for Chesterfield these days, but he's going to take part in this David Okoro testimonial. Of course, trying to talk too quickly. Okoro will, of course, be the goalkeeper. Legend. Oh, love him. Love him, love him, love him. Lucas Long has come back to take part in this game as well. He's currently playing for Western Sydney. Moved down to Australia, and he's come all the way back for this. Samuel Seeley, bit of a legend, one of my favourite players. Currently playing for Glebe in a very low division these days, but good to have him back. Probably has the most assists for the club, maybe behind Mark Ball these days. I'm not 100% sure. Gus Owusu's come back. He hasn't found a club actually since he's left Wildstone. So yeah, it's good to have him back. John Patinama as well. He's back in Holland these days. Moved around a couple of times after signing for Aberdeen, as you can see. So he's back playing on the left wing. And also on the bench, we've got Alan Stevenson. It's a shame a few others didn't come, but that's quite a good selection. We've also got Fawkes on the bench and Ray Rigg. So we had to have those old faces. And there's a mixture of new players and players that played for the club previously. So, should we get on with this? It's exciting, isn't it? David Okoro testimonial against Swindon Town, who we've beaten twice and lost against once. I am starting Mark Ball and Laura up front. He's back on loan, I forgot to mention. He's back on loan, which is good because I wasn't going to re-sign him at one point, but he's described as a wonder kid, and he scored 2 incredible goals last year and a few goals in total. I think he should be our number 1 striker up front alongside Mark Ball this season. So I'm going to give that partnership a go and see what happens. We've also got Perry Miles playing in the middle. One of our own. What a legend. Who else? Matteo's in there. Our new winger, Luke Clark, trying to build up his match fitness because he did get injured, unfortunately. And we're going with the attacking home tactic. We're playing in Luton Stadium, remember, these days. We've still got a while before we can build our own stadium. Tonight is all about David Okoro, so just go out there and give him the match he deserves. Now, before we do start the match, let's just take a look at him. Oh, I love him. I love him to bits. Look at this. It's just incredible. I'm really annoyed with myself because I did actually mean to play him on the last day of last season so to keep his league run going, but I forgot. I'm really sorry. He featured in 5 Hampshire Senior Cup games last year, and he is up to 519 appearances for the club, I think, which is pretty special. Oh, he's just made so many appearances. I'll show you the spreadsheet actually whilst I remember. There he is at the top, 519 appearances for the club. Of course, that includes all competitions, including the Hampshire Senior Cup. We've got 30 players that have featured 100 times for the club now, which is special. Top goal scorers. He's the 10th top goal scorer for the club because of his penalties over all those years. I mean, he had some really good seasons, didn't he? This season was the best average rating, Southern Premier South, the season before he got promoted. But there was, I mean, even in the National League when we got promoted, he just was incredible, and he really raised his game. It was the Championship, even the first season in the Championship. Yes, that was the first year that he made mistakes, but he actually made the most saves in the Championship that season. Obviously helped by the fact we had so many shots raining down on him, but that's why he conceded so many goals, because he was having to be so ridiculously busy that year. But it was the season that we decided, yeah, we probably need to upgrade and bring in Bayliss. But his average rating, look at it, it was still really good for a goalkeeper. Better than Smith's average rating from last year. Better than Bayliss's average rating, I think. So he really is just the the second biggest legend at the club after Mark Ball now. He was the biggest legend, but I think Mark Ball's moved ahead of him. Mark Ball is special, but he'll have maybe have his testimonial one day. It depends how long he's here. I don't think we'll have time actually. I don't think he will be here long enough, because I think you have to play 12 seasons. So that's why David Okoro has only just been able to have his testimonial. I can give a testimonial to Fawkes and Ray Rigg. Both of them last year I think could have had a testimonial, but I've not done it because they were not part of the team for so long. And obviously they were important for the first 4 or 5 seasons of the club's history, but after that they're still here because they're on non-contracts and I've not released them and they've decided not to leave. But maybe I should give them a testimonial at some point. Here comes Swindon. This is going to be a tough game because we've got some very weak players in this game. I will make changes at half time. Probably take out like the likes of Passmore and Lucas Long and Assini. Some of them playing at a very low level of football. Look at Khalil Passmore go though. Here's Mark Ball. What can he do? To Lawler. Lawler's got Patinama out wide. Patinama crosses it in. Mark Ball scores. Oh yes, there we go. Good to have Mark Ball scoring on David Okoro's testimonial. I hope we get a penalty, because of course David Okoro will take it. Let's go attacking actually. Let's go for this. Let's score as many goals for David Okoro as possible. Unfortunately, because we're not playing at Plumbing Park, he doesn't get to play in front of the Okoro Raw stand, of course. We're having to play in this Luton Town Stadium. So that's a little bit of a shame for him, isn't it? But here comes Swindon, 28 minutes in. Not the most exciting game so far. Oh, Owusu. I remember those tackles. Here's Clark, our new right winger. Finds Mark Ball just about. Mark Ball tackled by Begley. And Swindon looking to build from the back here. But maybe Owusu will have something to say about that again. That's cleared. Assini. Samuel Assini. What a legend. Great to have him back. Patinama. Into Perry Miles. Through to Sean Lawler. Turns. And he has the shot, and it's a lovely finish. Maybe keeper should have done a little bit better there. But our 2 strikers have got the goals. They're the quality in this team. The 2 up front are the first choice players. I don't think there's any... Oh, Clark on the right-hand side as well is first choice. And Matteo is... But we've got a few first choice players in here. It was a lovely finish from outside the box, but the keeper, it did go under him a bit, didn't it? Corner to Swindon. Come on, Okoro. Keep it out. Said it won't be seen. We've not actually seen Okoro do anything. The first things he's got to do is pick the ball out of the back of the net. There's only been 1 shot on target and it's looped over him, unfortunately. Nothing he could do about it though. Well, you've seen some old faces. It's time to bring on some maybe new faces as well. Tasakovic for Patinama. You get to see his second debut for the club. We'll bring on, I mean, Perry Miles has been involved, but we'll bring on Dave Barnes so you can have a look at him before the start of the season. And I think, we've got to do it. We've got to bring on Morgan Fawkes, haven't we? Why not? Let's do it. He can play alongside Mark Ball. Those 2 never really played together. They probably played a couple Hampshire Senior Cup games together, but of course Morgan Fawkes was before Mark Ball's time. I was thinking about some of the youngsters that came through last season. They're born in 2015 or 16. They would have grown up only ever knowing Regen Rovers as a club that exists in the English Football League pyramid, because they're so young. Of course, formed in 2018 we started our first season 2018-19 season. They were born in 2015 or 2016. They'd been 2 or 3 years old when Regen Rovers started out. It's incredible, isn't it? This is a boring second half, unfortunately. But that's pre-season for you, I suppose. If you do have a good memory, let me know your favourite memory of David Okoro. We'll bring on Ray Rigg, shall we? We'll put him on the right-hand side. Kavcic will come on for Ball as well. There's some good memory. He pulled off some incredible saves. He scored some important penalties, didn't he? He really did. Absolute legend. But it's a pretty boring testimonial, to be honest. I was hoping... The best ever testimonial, Mark Noble's testimonial for West Ham. That was funny. That was special. There were so many goals. It really was a special test. That's what testimonial is all about. But yeah, we win the game for David Okoro. He didn't do anything. He didn't get a penalty. But... Yeah. Maybe do you get to have another testimonial? Can you do second testimonials, or do they have to play another 12 years? I don't know. But we've paid tribute to him. So on the screen right now, this is something that happened earlier in pre-season. I was offered the England job, and I rejected it. I was also offered 2 other international jobs, as you can see. But the reason why I've rejected it is simply from past experience. The first series of Regen Rovers, I got the England job. Did I play a season or two whilst in charge of England and Regen Rovers? But it killed me off. It killed the series off simply because I took that England job and I just couldn't. It was ahead of the World Cup. I couldn't motivate myself to basically select the England team, play the World Cup. I just couldn't. So that's why, I mean, I love the idea of thinking I could call up Mark Ball, I could play David Okoro for a game, etc. Which is what we did with the first series. I called up all the players, called up Jack Young, Spencer Drury, etc. But this series, I've learned from my mistakes. I'm not going to do that again because I don't want to be in the same situation where I just can't motivate myself to continue the series simply because I don't really want to manage England. So that's why I just don't want to do it. So, Regen Rovers, all the way. I'm not in charge of England ever again. In this universe anyway. So, heading into this season, what do you think, guys? I think you're probably going to say that the team looks a bit weak. It's quite similar to last year. Maybe we've upgraded a couple positions. Dave Barnes coming in central midfield. I think we've upgraded that. We've got the same strikers. I've not. If there is the opportunity to find a really good striker, then maybe I'll bring one in. But we've got 4 strikers. I think Sean Lawler has improved as well over the last year. I think he can lead the line for us alongside Mark Ball. Alan Stewart can come in. He's someone a bit different. He's got that physical presence. I'm hoping for better from Kavcic because he was a disappointment last year. We've improved the right wing position. Luke Clark, little bit of an upgrade on Cochrane and Boyd, I think. Tasakovic coming in, slightly better in that left midfield position than Nunez. He just fits that role a bit better. We're still using the same tactic, the home tactic. Away from home, at the moment it's this. I'm hoping to sign one other player actually. I don't know if it's been... Oh, where's it? This chap. Eden Challery. I don't know if he rejected. What happened? I don't know. Basically, they wanted 3.6 million for him. We're gonna try and sign this chap because, quite simply, if I'm playing away from home with that defensive midfield role in place, I don't really have a natural player that can play there. This guy can. He wouldn't be the first choice in central midfield, but it'd be the first choice as an anchorman or defensive midfielder. He's got the ability. Southampton don't want a huge amount of money from him. He's a bit of a journey. He's very much a journeyman, as you can see, but he's got so much experience. I just think he can fit that role nicely. St. Lucian International, 96 caps for St. Lucia. But yeah, I think that could be the missing piece in the jigsaw, I suppose, ahead of this season. Someone that can just sit there when we're playing away from home and mop everything up, basically. I'm quite happy with the team. The under-23s is still tiny looking at, and there's some of the first team players are in here. I've tried to sell D'Alfonso, but no one seems to... Well, he doesn't seem to want to leave, which is a bit annoying. And the under-18 is still pretty small as well. I just don't have a big youth system because I don't see the point in signing up players that literally have no potential. That I've signed everyone that has at least 1.5 star potential, and even that I'm thinking, what is the point? They're not going to do anything for the club. They make up the numbers in under-18s matches, I suppose. That's the argument. But I just think it's a waste of money, really. There's a couple of players here that have potential. Thomas Gregory up front has a bit of potential, and also Ben McDonald at right back. Quite like the look of him. But that's it, really. So, not particularly happy with the youth teams. Was hoping to produce a real superstar, but we haven't managed to do that yet. Perry Miles is the one player that really, he made over 400 appearances for the club, second highest appearance maker, but unfortunately he just isn't good enough for the Premier League. I think we'll end it there. Next time you see me, it will be the start of the 15th season. Sorry that the game wasn't particularly exciting, and I've rambled on a bit, but you've got to see the new players. I've just updated you. Next episode, Arsenal. That's going to be really tough. Before I do go, actually, it makes sense to do and ask the manager. So 3 questions from you guys. The first one is from 18 is 18 to... What name does that mean? But thank you for supporting the channel. He's actually a member, which is why he's got a little badge next to his name. So thank you for the support. Have you ever thought of being a real football manager? I suppose everyone's thought about it, just like everyone's thought about being a real football player. Even if you don't like football, you probably think, oh, it'd be nice to earn all that money and be a star and adored by people. I suppose you do think about it, but I literally, although I can play the game, real experience, I've never done any football coaching. I'd honestly have no idea what I was doing in training. I wouldn't know where to start. So no. I've thought about it in when I was younger, but no, not now. Don't think about it now. Next question is from Siark who's asked, in real life, who do you think is similar to Mark Ball, who started from the bottom and now plays in the Premier League? I suppose the most famous example is Jamie Vardy. He's probably the most similar. I can't really think of anyone else that's done that. There's players that have gone from the bottom all the way to the top, but I don't think they've ever scored loads of goals in their top flight or been an amazing player. But Mark Ball's done it, hasn't he? 13 goals last year in the Premier League in his first year, which is incredible considering he was playing in the 7th tier of English football like 8 years ago or something. That is really, really special. And lastly, Druva Nosworthy has asked, what do you think of the chances of West Ham United and their new signings? It looks like West Ham could have a good season this year. So that's obviously real life. As you know, I support West Ham. Yeah, we've signed some fantastic players. Allaire up front, Fornals in attacking midfield. Really, really impressive signings. And Wilshere and Lanzini are pretty much like new signings this year because they were both injured last year, of course. So if we can keep all of those fit, and Anderson, that is a special attacking lineup, isn't it? Everyone's thinking, all West Ham fans are thinking, we're going to score tons of goals going forward and we're going to be dreadful at the back and just really leaky because we're just going to play loads of attackers. We don't have the best defence anyway, especially the fullbacks, a little bit dodgy. And not a huge amount of cover defensively in the middle apart from Declan Rice. We're going to concede goals. We're going to score goals. It's going to be classic West Ham entertainment. That's what the fans want. That's what we want. So watch out for West Ham. We'll score goals. I think we'll finish top 10. We might finish 7th, but I'm thinking more likely 8th or 9th or 10th. But it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So yeah, looking forward to this season. But we'll end it there. Thank you for watching this episode of Regen Rovers, all about David Okoro. If you do have any memories of him, if you can remember what's happened in the last few over the series, then stick your memories in the comment section below. Pay tribute to him. But next up is the Premier League. I'll just quickly show you where we're expected to finish. We'll end it there. We're expected to finish bottom, of course. So hopefully we can upset the odds for the millionth time and survive and have a successful campaign in our second season in the Premier League. Until next time, enjoy FM19. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.